Warfare 3 Zombies. Let's talk about it. So I know I haven't posted in a while, and that's because I kind of went on like a zombies like burnout. But don't worry, because I have a massive video on the way. So yeah, you're gonna have to wait for that one. It's gonna be a massive video, and yeah, but Modern Warfare 3 Zombies releases in 5 days. This Friday on November 10th. So that's gonna be crazy. Now, I'm going to be talking about a lot of questions. So, like, is there going to be solo? What are the perk systems going to be like? Is this like Cold War, Outbreak? Will there be round-based anytime in the future? And all the systems like that. So, if you guys want to know absolutely everything about this mode, then just watch the video, and it'll tell you everything. I'll have timestamps to show you guys where to go if you're looking for a specific topic to talk about and find more about before you download this and play it and see if it's worth $70. Keep in mind that in this video, I'm going to be using content from other creators, so like Codename Pizza, Mr. Dog JD, and Noah J456, YouTubers that went to the event and got to play zombies early. And yeah, this gameplay I'm going to be using, so go check out all those creators if you want to see like no commentary footage of this mode. And yeah, but there's a lot of stuff to talk about, so without further ado, let's go and get into the Modern Warfare 3 Zombies, fully explained, in depth, everything I know. I've been watching these videos to find out everything I know about this mode, so let's go and hop into it. So let's talk about how this game's gonna work. So basically, this is kind of like an objective/extraction game mode where you're gonna get in, get some rewards, and get out. Now, basically, you're gonna have 45 minutes of actual in-game playtime of doing objectives and unlocking new stuff for your other games ahead of you. And then you have 15 minutes to extract or exfil and get out of there as soon as possible and go back to the main menu. So, I think I mentioned this in my previous MW3 video, but yeah, 1 hour of total playtime. I think I've already said that is really not a very wise decision because 1 hour really isn't that much when you're thinking about COD Zombies, and I think that it should be increased, or maybe there's some sort of like mode you can increase it at, possibly. And yeah, so that's how that's gonna work. And there's different objectives too that you can do inside this game, like for example, Big Bounty, which is basically gonna probably be like the elite from Outbreak from Cold War, but basically just got to kill like an elite, maybe Mimic or something like that. And there's probably going to be like an escort one and a couple ones that are returning from DMZ. I never played that, so I don't really know what that is, but it just sounds like an escort cargo truck thing. So that's very cool here. And yeah, basically you're going to be able to find like cases or blueprints, or I think they're called schematics or something like that. Inside of this game, you can find some schematics, and you can, if you extract it without schematic, then you can actually be able to use it inside of your next game. So let's say you find like a ray gun schematic or a perk schematic or static, possibly, I don't know. But let's say you find a ray gun version or a Juggernaut version of that. You can then go ahead, did I just say Juggernaut? You can then go ahead and log into your next game of MW3 Zombies, and you will actually have Juggernaut, and you will also be able to have the ray gun as well. So the schematics basically work. If you extract with it in one game, you can use it in the next. And I think they've got a chart saying that like you can get a ray gun, and you're gonna be able to log into a game using the ray gun, so you can automatically spawn in with it. However, you're gonna need to wait on like a cooldown. So let's say you go into a one game with the ray gun. After you end that game, you're going to need to wait like a couple days or maybe like 1 day cooldown to be able to use that once again. And I don't know if you need to escape with it again to get the cooldown to go again, or maybe if you die with the ray gun schematic, then it's just gone forever. I really don't know how that works. It's going to be very interesting to see. And yeah, but also perks. Let's talk about them because they look really cool in this game and how the system's actually going to work. Oh, they've gone off chart also saying that the way the perks are going to work in this game are not going to be like Cold War, so there's not going to be any out-of-menu progression. Will it be like Vanguard? I don't think so. I think there's going to be like normal perks, so the perks that are going to be returned are going to be like Tombstone with a couple new abilities, PhD Flopper, which we haven't seen since like BO2, and PhD Flopper is not actually PhD Slider, it's PhD Flopper itself, which is awesome. Juggernaut, of course, Speed Cola, most likely Stamina Up, and because we've already seen a Stamina Up machine, so that's definitely got to be in there. Deadshot as well, because they just love Deadshot. Elemental Pop is also making a return, which is kind of cool to see that return again. And there's a total of 9 perks, so there's maybe going to be a new one. I'm actually not too sure about that, but The perk system is just mainly going to be like that. A lot of returning perks from Cold War. I'm just trying to get the basics out of the way and not really get into too many specifics, so I'm not wasting your time here just talking about random stuff. But the perk system is going to be the exact same. Now let's go and talk about the enemies and zone types. Similar to Cold War, we of course, similar to the perks, we also have a ton of new returning bosses, like the Mangler with the new redesign, the Krasny Soldats, the Mimics, as we saw in that one image that we saw a long time ago, a couple months back, and there's also, might be a Megaton returning, we're not too sure about that one, and and the Disciples as well, also with the redesign. They all look really cool in the redesigns and stuff like that, but there's also one really big one. The Abomination, the thing from Forsaken, the Margwa dog thing. Well, it's not just an abomination. It's now called a Mega Abomination. And this thing is definitely a Mega Abomination. This thing is an absolutely disgusting piece of trash that is just absolutely horrendous. Basically it's just a big boss that you can find probably in the deeper regions. So you're definitely not going to find it in the third or the second. Probably when it gets like to the hardest difficulty. This is kind of like a big boss type enemy. Now this thing's big. It can summon little baby crawlers out of its stomach, and that just sounds absolutely disgusting. Can't wait to see how that would play out. And he can shoot his beams, of course, so he's basically just like an abomination, has a couple new abilities, and it's just really, really big. And he's gonna give you, of course, much better things than like the Mimics would, so much better like loot. However, there's also like a couple other types of bosses or whatever. So we also have like very, very unique bosses from DMZ and type stuff like that. For example, one is called the Chemist. We have no image or nothing about this guy. We just know that he's just going to be a thing that's also going to give you eternal loot like a boss would. I want to make it clear that this is just from leakers, but these things are basically called warlords, and they're going to be accessed by like keycard temple type things. You're going to be able to fight them. The difficulty is unknown, but they're just like some sort of bosses that are just leaked, so we're not too sure to what they're going to do quite yet. But they are cool that we know a little bit about them. But we also have another boss. A worm boss. Now this thing is shown at the end of the Modern Warfare 3 trailer right here, as well as a little bit of teaser art, which I'm going to pop up on screen right now. Now this worm boss is very, very mysterious. We don't really know anything about this. It's just a worm boss. Maybe you're going to get like a side Easter egg or some sort of like Easter egg of sorts, but there is no main Easter egg going to be on launch. So on the topics of leaks, we also have an alternate ammo type leak, as well as alternate ammo types that are already in the game, like Dead Wire, Cryo Freeze, and all the ones from Cold War. So yeah, that's gonna be awesome to use. I'm guessing each boss is gonna have their like weaknesses similar to Cold War. But also a new one, Shadow Vortex, I believe it's called, like Ether Vortex or something like that. And I have no clue what this is gonna be. It kind of sounds like I really don't know what this could be. Maybe it'll like summon like a thing that just goes around like killing heads off, or maybe it's gonna like suck in zombies. It's really not very clear on what it's gonna do, but it says Vortex. Maybe it'll send their bodies up in the sky like the Tony Negation or something like that. We really just don't really know anything about this except for the name, so we can only assume for right now. And yeah, that's an alternate ammo type, so that's also gonna be a returning feature. Now let's talk about another thing. The wonder weapons of this game. We have 3 that we know about. 3 wonder weapons. The ray gun, the wonder waff, and the paralyzer jet gun thunder gun thing. Let's go and talk about the new one. The new wonder weapon is basically it's going to be like some sort of paralyzer looking jet gun enthusiast thunder gun blasting mechanism. Now, first of all, you can shoot zombies with this, and you have to charge it up before you can shoot, so it's going to go like bzz, so it's going to like charge it up before it can shoot. And it actually acts like a thunder gun, so it's going to shoot like a big bolt of electricity, kind of like the Die Wonder Weapon as well, and blast zombies out of the way. But there's also a new way to travel in this game. If you shoot it on the ground, as you can see inside the trailer and stuff, you will literally fly. It will literally send you up in the air, and you can use your parachute to glide away. So that's going to be a very, very interesting feature. The only time we ever saw anything like this was with the paralyzer. So I'm actually really happy that wonder weapons are starting to get like unique uses. Like, we really haven't gotten a wonder weapon besides the paralyzer that was used for like other things besides killing zombies. Very, very nice breath of fresh air. I mean, the zoom hill is one of them, but it's not really a wonder weapon. But we also have the ray gun. It looks very similar to the, I'm gonna throw up, Vanguard ray gun, where it like absolutely destroys your vision, but I mean, it's the ray gun, so there he is. Ray gun. I mean, it's really not surprising anymore. At least we got on launch. But we also have the Wonder Waff. I couldn't really find any gameplay footage of it, but the Wonder Waff exists in this game. Probably going to be like the Vanguard one as well. So, yeah, that was also not very useful. I mean, it was like a worse version of the normal Wonder Waff. But yeah, those are the Wonder Weapons. Now, I have another topic to talk about. Solo. Question mark? Well, it's like solo squads. it's solo team squads. So there can be up to 24 players per basically map. And this map's a Warzone map, by the way. And 24 players up to a map. There can be up to 4 or 6 players. I think it's 6 or 4 players per squad. And you can basically load up in your squad with only yourself. And you can also team up with other squads to make an even bigger squad. So you can get 24 squad. And they can't attack you. It's PvE game mode, so they can't attack you, but basically it's going to be working together. And if you want to play solo, it's apparently rumored by Noah J456 himself, the Descent Man. And it's going to be very, very tricky to play in solo. He said he loaded it up, and it was much, much harder to play in solo. So it's likely to think that they will recognize this and, well, in my dreams at least, and probably other people's dreams, hopefully make it balanced for solo play. Because there is no local play. So, I don't know, how would they make a local play with, like, bots? Like, what? There already are bot humans that will shoot you in the game, so that doesn't sound very cool. Yeah, I already disclosed that in the last, MWZ video. But yeah, you can play solo, but it's gonna be much, much harder to play, and it's likely that you're gonna be able to play solo bosses, I guess. I'm not too sure about that. I have just a couple more topics to talk about, like, number one, there are certain objectives type things, like tiny little side quests you can do, like basically like the dragon from Outbreak and stuff like that. And one of them is the like ether nest. Absolutely disgusting name, but this thing is basically gonna be like you can enter like a location on the map, and you're gonna have to destroy like a bunch of like nest pod type things, and you're gonna get a bunch of loot from that. So it's like basically just little side missions you can do to get extra loot, and yeah, it's basically just like Outbreak side quests. And as far as the pack punch goes, each region is going to allow you to pack a punch an extra tier. So in the first region, you can only pack a punch to level 1, and the second one probably to level 2 and level 3. So it has been confirmed that you cannot get to level 2 or 3 in the first region, and it's mostly that's how it's going to work. Pack punch camo itself does look pretty awesome as shown in the trailer. I actually can't wait for that. And as far as camos go, there is going to be a dark ether grind for this game, and I wonder how that tough that's going to be, because it seems like the more and more Call of Duty games are going to be, the more and more guns and more hard it's going to be to get the mastery camo. But let's talk about field upgrades. Field upgrades are going to be returning, so all of the ones from Cold War except for 2. Ether Shroud, surprisingly, actually, and Toxic Growth. Toxic Growth, like, is kind of forgettable, so that kind of makes sense, but Ether Shroud was really popular, but not too sure how good it would be inside of this, because it kind of seems like Frenzy's Guard would be the best to replenish your armor, which is coming back inside of this as well. Now, another returning feature is the Casimir Grenade. And this is going to be returning, of course, from Cold War, which is basically like the Gersh device of Cold War. So that's going to be returning as well inside of this mode. Awesome, awesome, awesome. There are also going to be acquisitions, which are basically like a lot of things you can get inside the game, and then you can load in with like perks, ammo types, and stuff. It's basically like non-permanent schematics, like the ray gun, and schematics basically allow you to get the acquisitions, but permanently on a cooldown. So a little bit different there. So yeah, those are acquisitions as well. Score Screech going to be returning. Like you can see a Juggernaut fighting the this dude right here. This is a Juggernaut with the death machine right here, and there's probably going to be a couple other, like maybe an airstrike, artillery, or something like that, just like from Cold War. Also, there's a new damn theme you can hear in the background of this video right now. So that's going to be really cool. So yeah, this is coming in 5 days. Will you be paying $70 for this game? Now, if I did, I would only be buying it mainly for zombies, because I've seen the campaign, I've seen the multiplayer, not too impressed with any of it, actually. But the zombies does actually look quite fun, now that I look back at it. It's hard not to get excited for a new zombies game, because we've been on a, I was about to say something else, but we've been on a bit of a, let's just say, dry period for zombies. So that's pretty interesting. So yeah, it's gonna be a new zombies game. I'm probably gonna try it out and see how it is. And will you guys be doing the same? Yeah, that's everything you need to know about MWZ and what's coming for zombies. Now, there might be a little bit more, but ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys on the battlefield, like, I guess. What?